Are we live? Super early. Happy Sunday, September 8th. I know I'm doing this really early, but it's Sunday and it's super quiet right now around my area. So I want to take advantage of that and do a live stream. So let's give it a few seconds. Hopefully, audio is doing okay. I'm looking at the YouTube studio. It states excellent connection, and we're just gonna go for it. Hey guys, welcome back to the server room, episode 83. Wow, 83 episodes so far. You saw the title, install Ubuntu KVM. So let's get right into it, right on the desktop. So you're probably saying to yourself, what is KVM stand for? KVM stands for, from my understanding, two things. One, keyboard, video, and monitor, but keyboard, video, and mouse, I think, right? And the other abbreviation for KVM, which is what we're going to be dealing with today, is kernel-based virtual machine. For those individuals that have been having a lot of problems with VMware and Broadcom purchasing VMware, and you're trying to find other ways to migrate your virtual machines like Proxmox, um, there's other versions as well. I just can't think of it right now. I know Proxmox is really uh, it's one of those up there that a lot of people are migrating away from VMware to Proxmox. I've actually started playing around with it. Hopefully, I could do some future videos with you guys. Today, we're going to be dealing with Ubuntu's Linux KVM, which is pretty cool. I've never actually dealt with it, so this is all new. I'm going to show you guys how to install it. Now, I already created, again, this is not really best practice to do everything within VMware Workstation, but because I'm testing everything, I'm going to do it within my VM Workstation. And I created a virtual machine. It is a Ubuntu Server 24.04.1 LTS version. That is the version that I'm running. I'm not running the desktop version. I want to run everything server version. It's a little lighter than the desktop version. So we're going to log in. Get inside the virtual machine, log in, cool, and awesome. Got the IP address 192.168.132.66.166. Let me take my notepad and write that down because we're going to be needing that IP address pretty soon to get it into the KVM. All right, 166. All right. So to double check that we are running the latest one, I'm going to do a command of lblsb_release with a switch of A. This tells me what version I have. Boom. Just want to show you guys that we are running the latest and greatest. With any Linux platform, you always want to push out the latest and greatest updates. Give me 1 second. Where are you? Where's my mouse? Okay. Let me zoom in. It's one of the things I don't like about this, and we're gonna change it real quick. But one of the things I like to do is sudo, right? App update, and I'm gonna do a sudo app upgrade and a switch of yes. Always check for updates and upgrade. Let's put our password. Make sure you are fully patched up. This machine should be fully patched up. Let me zoom out real quick. Drives me nuts. There it goes. So right now it is grabbing updates, which is pretty cool. Because the last time I started playing around with this virtual machine, it was fully patched up. So it looks like I have updates. So just make sure you patch it up. Also, once you patch it up, reboot. Now, one of the things that I did behind the scenes is that this virtual machine, to run KVM inside of a virtual machine, because it is considered a nested virtualization environment, you got to make sure that this virtual machine, zoom in real quick, that the processor you have the virtualization engine, the first option checked off, virtualize Intel VT-X, EPT, or AMD RVI. Make sure that that is enabled so you could basically have nested virtualization, you know. So make sure you have that option configured on your virtual machine because it won't work. So right now, I actually have updates and upgrades. Once all this is fully patched up, I do recommend sending out a reboot command to reboot the machine. It's already done. So I'm gonna zoom in real quick. I'm gonna do a sudo. Let's get inside the virtual machine. Sudo reboot. Before I even do the reboot, I want to do a couple of things to this machine. I don't like doing anything inside the virtual machine. So let's install OpenSSH so I could putty into it and then I'm able to change the font view because this is driving me crazy a little bit. It's too small. So let's get in. Let's get in. There we go. Let's it's a pain in the butt. There we go. Sudo app install. Hope that is spelled right. Install open SSH server. And let's hit enter. We're going to hit Y on the keyboard, hit yes, because we do want it. Zoom out. It's going to install. Should be pretty quick installation. This is not really part of the KVM, but I want to use putty because within putty, I'm able to change the font size because it's just too small for me right now. All right, so we're going to do a clear command. I am going to zoom in for you because I'm going to do a couple of other commands real quick. We're going to do a sudo system control ctl status, and we're just going to see the status of the SSH. Okay, it's inactive. All right, no problem. We're going to do a sudo ufw allow. I'm going to change the permissions on the firewall. Awesome. So now I'm going to do a sudo reboot. And it's going to reboot for us. Awesome. I have putty already installed, so I'm actually going to run 130, 168, 192, 168, 132, 166. I'm going to wait until the machine is up before I click on open and establish the connection, and then we're going to continue. So let's just give it some time. Patience, Grabhabag. So let's just give that some time for it to boot up. Once it boots up, we will establish the connection to our server. Come on. All right, I'm gonna go to mute because this sometimes takes a while. All right, so we're back. Took some time, I know. It's one of those things that you have to be patient. All right, so it's loaded up. I have my putty session already with the IP address. We're just gonna click on open. Look at that. It's already asking me for my login information. So I'm going to put my username. Let's put the password, hit enter. Excellent. So we're in using putty. Now with putty, I'm gonna click right here on this icon. We're going to go into, where are you? Change settings. Let's go into appearance. Let's go to font. Let's give it 16. Click OK and apply. There it goes. Nice and big. I'm able to see, even though I wear glasses. She's crazy. All right, so let's continue. First thing that we need to do is we're going to install a CPU checker to make sure that our processor allow us to run virtual machines. And because we are using a VMware workstation to house this virtualization or this hypervisor to run virtual machines, us enabling that setting, this setting right here, I'm going to show you real quick, this setting within this machine will allow us to pass that check. But it's always good practice to do this. So we're going to do sudo apt install CPU checker. I can spell it right. Checker. Hit enter. And let's put our password. Oop, there we go. Click Y for yes. We do want it. We're going to install that. Beautiful. This is a really quick. Awesome. Let's clear it. Let's go up top. Now, what we want to do is let's make it a little bigger. Try not to zoom in too much. Let's do 24. Ooh, that's nice. 24 is good, right? All right, so we just installed CPU checker. How to run it? We're going to do a sudo KVM. Okay. Boom. Now, if you get this KVM acceleration can be used, that is good. That basically means that the processor is able to run virtual machines. That is excellent. Basically, you have VT or virtualization enabled within your BIOS. That is, if you are running this natively on a physical server, you're great. But because I'm running it on a nested level, and I have that option within the virtual machine to utilize the virtual VT, it's going to pass for me. So we're good on that. Awesome. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and I will provide all the commands for you guys. I'll probably do like a Word document and push it up to the GitHub. I don't want to type anything wrong. I already have everything typed up. So the first command that we're going to run is the following, and we're going to go over it. So we're going to do sudo apt switch of yes, because if it gives us a question to install, we want yes. Install. We're going to the library virtual daemon system, the bridge utilities, QEMU, KVM, the library virtual daemon. We want all of these to be installed. We're going to hit enter. Awesome. And typically it will ask you a question if you want to continue, but because we have that switch of Y, it's just gonna go straight through and install it for us. Awesome. Gotta love that switch of Y. So right now it is installing all those packages. Again, I have a cheat sheet with all the commands, and because I don't want to type anything wrong, I want to try to make this episode super sweet, short and simple for you guys. Hopefully you guys are watching. Hook me up with a sub, thumbs up, so I can continue pushing out these live streams for you guys. I've been working on a lot of cool things for the server room. One of the things that I'm working on is building an Exchange server within my lab from beginning to end. So that's going to be exciting. I don't know when I'm going to release that. The first video I'm going to be pushing out hopefully soon. It's all about installing all the core requirements, and then the second video should be getting Active Directory ready. The third video is all about installing, and then so on. So I'm breaking it down to many videos rather than doing it all in one shot, because a lot of you guys don't like long videos. So I try to make it as short as possible. 10 minutes or shorter is good, right? Short and simple. All right, so it's done. I am going to run a clear command. And again, got a cheat sheet. I'm not gonna try to type this up, because when you type, you're gonna make a mistake. So next command is sudo apt install virtual instance. We're gonna do the library os info bin virtual top library guest fs tools. So hit enter on that. I didn't do the switch on this, I forgot. So we're gonna hit Y on that and continue. But you are able to actually add the Y, which I'm actually gonna update my notes on that. So when I give it to you guys don't have to worry about that. We're almost done. The last thing is to install. Well, this command right here actually installs KVM on the machine. The next commands that we're going to do after this is done is to actually have an interface that we're able to log into to manage our virtual machines, to create our virtual machines, to take snapshots. Now, the Ubuntu KVM, super new to me. I can't really give you my 2 cents on it, but when I started playing around with it, I loved it off the bat. It's a little confusing of how to create the network interfaces, snapshots, and the data stores and stuff like that. I'm still learning, and I will be pushing out future live streams or future offline videos and then schedule them on the channel. All right, so this is done. We're going to do a clear to clear that out. We're going to do a virsh version. This will actually tell us what versions we have. We're running 10.10.10 and the QEMU is running 8.2.2. So most likely when you guys have an opportunity to do all these commands, there's a good chance that the version that you're running might be either higher or lower, but this is what I'm running right now on today's date, right? September 8th at 10:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have the Ubuntu KVM already installed. It is time for us to actually install the interface so we can log into and do what we need to do. No, so before I even do that, all right, my bad. Sorry. All right, so I could type this up. This is not that bad. Sudo apt install cockpit. One word, cockpit. I know it's funny. Hopefully, I don't get a strike or anything from YouTube, but this is the actual name of it, cockpit. So yes, I should have did another switch of Y to continue. It's going to install. Once this installation is pretty quick, and the next one that we're going to do is install I think a plugin, and also enabled the cockpit.socket to the system control. So it's already installed. I'm going to do another clear, and rather than me typing this up, because I'm going to show you why I'm copying and pasting it, because it looks pretty complicated. So we're going to do sudo apt install cockpit dash open and close wiggly brackets. Inside the wiggly brackets is going to be machine, comma, podman. This is going to install the utilities. Again, I should have did a switch of Y, and I'm updating my notes as we go over everything. So when you guys copy and paste these commands on your side, it is super easy. Okay, so that's done. Do another clearing it, because I don't want you guys to bend your neck and hurt your neck, because my neck is killing me, because I'm constantly always like this, hunching like this on the keyboard, like a mad person. Try to have your back straight. All right, next command that we need to do is we actually need to configure the system control. And again, I'm going to copy and paste the command. I'm not going to type it in and waste your time. This is what we need to do. Sudo system control enabled with a switch of now cockpit.socket, and hit enter. Done. Last thing that we need to do, if you want, you're actually able to check the status of the cockpit.socket status. So we could just run system stl ctl status. Caught myself there. Cockpit socket. Hit enter. It is active. It is listening. It is good to go. Now, by default, your IP address, if you're running this server, within, you know, a network with domain controller and a nice little DNS, you have A records and all that stuff, you can actually use the full qualified domain FQDN of the server, colon, and the port number that the cockpit website is actually listening to is 9090. So open up your favorite browser. I'm going to open up my favorite browser. Give me 1 second. Okay. And let's see if I could type in real quick. Whack 192. You guys are saying that we can't see, Bernardo. I want to let you see right now. Give me 1 second. 9090. All right. So open up your favorite browser. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna zoom in real quick for you guys. Open up your favorite browser. I open up Brave Incognito. I typed in HTTPS because the site is actually running on a secure site. You will get a certificate error because you don't have a certificate applied. But the IP address, this is the IP address of my Ubuntu server. And again, it is listening to port 9090. We're going to hit enter here. Okay, like I said, it's not secured. We're going to click advance, proceed to the following IP, and then boom, awesome. Now, the username and password is basically the username and password that you use to actually, you know, to console into your Ubuntu server. So for me, it was BTNHD, and whatever password you provided. Boop, done. Awesome. Now, first thing that we need to do is when you log into this, you have limited access, right? Boom, gives you limited access. You get a nice big kind of orange web console is running in limited access mode. Turn on administrative access. You want to click on this button. So click on that. It's going to want you to enter the password that you use to log into your web portal is the same password that you use to log into your server. Okay, authenticate. If everything goes well, limited access will switch to administrative access and that warning would disappear. Beautiful. I did notice, and this it's pretty cool that it actually happened during the video because it happened when I was playing around with it. One service has failed when you click on it. For some reason, this service is always failing for me. I actually had to go in and just start it and just view it. And then once you start it, the warning disappears. Another thing that you need to do off the bat, anytime you install or do anything, check for updates. Push any updates because there's a good chance the image that you pull down, if you haven't, you know, worked on it off the bat, there's a good chance that there's updates. You could go into the site and pull down another copy, but for this example, it looks like there is an update. So can actually review. I really like the interface of this KVM thing. It's pretty cool. So we're going to click install. Depending on the update, it could be pretty quick. It could be slow. Drink a little water. Yeah, it's always going to be a reboot. So let's reboot the system. It wants you to add a message. I know I have water around all my equipment, and this is so dangerous. Let's type in software updates on 9/08/2024, and I like to put my name. I like to tag my name, so if someone goes in and like, "Oh, pushed out the updates. Oh, it was Bernardo. Bernardo, why you know, come to me because I'm the one who caused the problem." So let's head back over here. This should reboot my putty session. Unexpectedly closed the network connection. Ah, yeah, that's obvious. And if we go into here, you're going to see that it is rebooting. So again, the reboot process takes some time. So I'm gonna make myself disappear and mute. I'm gonna let it reboot. Then we're gonna go back in and then take a closer look on the Ubuntu KVM. All right, so I've experienced this before. Just looks like it's frozen. So it's one of those things, just got to be patient before I kill everything. So I'm just gonna let it be for a minute and hopefully it will come back to life on its own. I've did I've noticed this in the past. This happens a couple of times. I hate when this happens, especially when it happens live. It kind of sucks. Um, yeah, but it looks like it's just frozen, but it's doing something. So I'm just gonna wait until I force quit it and then redo it again. But I don't want to force quit it because it's not really best practice. So I'm gonna disappear again, mute myself, and then again, you guys are gonna be watching paint dry right now. So we're just waiting for the reboot to finish. And yep, there it goes. It finished. Yes, look at that. Nice. All right, so let's head back into this. We could restart the session. Let's log in. Let's put that password. Awesome. So we in. Beautiful. And from here we could just click on reconnect. It's gonna reload the page. It's gonna want you to re-log in, which is great. Enter. And then bam, software updates are pushed out. Awesome. Again, I've noticed, I don't know why this happens. It's probably a slight delay. This is another one, but I typically would just go here and it is set to automatically run, but for some reason it just errors out. But yeah, just keep an eye on that. Technically we're done. But let's load an iOS an iOS image, super small image for now. I'm going to use WinSCP and beautiful. I am going to put the IP address 192.168.132.166 port 22. Again, you guys are able to change the port, go in there, change the port, or if you have a firewall in the middle, create a firewall policy that the traffic will only hit, certain machines would hit the traffic of this machine. All right, so username would be BTNHD, and you will provide the password, which is that. And let's click on login. Awesome, cool. So I'm in. Let's go up a level. Let's go up a level. I'm going to drop something within the temp folder. And I already have an image. I'm actually going to use this little guy right here. This little guy right here is what I'm going to use. I'm going to move that over to the temp file. So move it over. It's copied. Done. We got an image. So let's close this up. Yes, just close. Now, let's create a virtual machine. So let's go inside virtual machine. We don't have any virtual machines. We're going to create a super small one. And that's it for today's episode. Again, I'm not really going too much in details with the networking and the storage and the logging and all that stuff. All the Podman containers, which is the same thing as Kubernetes. But we're going to be doing just one virtual machine. But again, later on, I'm going to show you guys how to create different networks for your management, for your LAN, for your DMZ and all that stuff, because the way of creating networks, you actually have to do everything within a command prompt. Oh, I love that, right? Yeah, it forces you to do command prompt rather than jumping into like a, graphical user interface, right? So from here, we're going to click on create virtual machine. Let's give this a tiny.btnhd.edu. We are going to do local install media. Installation source, it is located in the temp. Where is temp? Temp, there it goes. And let's pick our file. Boop, there it goes, temp. It is going to be trying to find something. Let's do unknown. Storage, we're gonna leave it at is. Storage limit 10 gigs. Memory is not that bad. 1 gig, that's enough. Let's click on create and run. Boom. There goes our virtual machine. It is running. I don't know if you guys noticed, but right here at the top, storage pool kind of went up 1. So it looks like it added the temp as a storage because we actually used the temp to grab something. So let's head back into virtual machine. Let's click on our virtual machine. It would take us to this nice interface, which is so cool. Look at this. Click inside this interface, and then you're able to not monitor, but actually do something on it. That's cool. So we want to do this one right here, boot tiny core. It is booting. For the console version or options, you have serial, console, VNC, desktop viewer. I've been playing around mostly with this. This is the default. I love this. This is pretty clean. It's awesome. Gives you this overview, network. By default, this is the default network that we have. Let's head to networking. And networking only has, come on. Yeah, it just has this right here, which is considered our management. And then we also have this, which actually creates a subnet for us. This would be our LAN. But again, if you want to configure it a little different, provide a different IP address, I'm going to show you guys hopefully on the next video. I'm going to keep this virtual machine alive. I won't kill it because I still want to play around with it. I'll probably move the virtual machine to another area, but yeah, we're done. It's cool. If you click on expand, and then from here, yeah, there it goes. How cool. Let's click on terminal. Look at that. I think it if config. Oops. Spelled it wrong. If config. There it goes. Awesome. Yeah, I gave it 192, 168, 122, 211, which That's basically the subnet of that IP address that they created for you. This is awesome. I don't know if I'm able to ping out. Maybe able to ping out. If I'm able to ping out, look at that. Nice. It's basically a NAT from the management port. I mean, most likely you want to change that when you're in, but it looks like it's up and running. And that's it for today's episode. Pretty super, simple. Straight to the point. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode, and that's about it. Yeah, I will provide all my notes so you guys are able to copy and paste all the commands. Again, the version that I am running everything on is, let's run the command again, lsb underscore release with a switch of a. I'm running everything on 24041 Ubuntu LTS version. So I didn't show you. Yeah, so this is the version that I'm running everything on right now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. And that's it. I will provide the commands that I used at my GitHub. If I remember, I'll place the link at the description of this live stream. And hopefully you guys enjoy. And I catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. All right, so how you end this? Because I always forget to end this. Let me see.